Good morning, Facebook Live. Hello, Facebook. Hello, YouTube on the replay. Marcus here, your chef on a mission. It's May 18th, early in the morning. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, depending upon when you're tuning in. I want to talk about the chicken wing shortage today and why prices are skyrocketing. And there goes my notification that I am live if you're watching on Facebook. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I know it's early. Going to get a different people here on early this morning. It's about 6 a.m., just after 6 a.m. Been in my office for about a half an hour already this morning. I love getting in my office super early, getting work done. I love to work hard between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. Work really hard, get all the big things out of the way, the big picture, the big rocks, get the most important things, and then have the flexibility and freedom. As entrepreneurs, as business people, as humans, we only have really, in the work field every day, we only have about 4 to 5 really productive hours. And, our boss or demands expect us to be there mentally for 8 hours. And it's tough sometimes, but I find myself, I got 3 awesome hours first thing in the morning to get some content done, and some big picture things, write some email copy. My VAs, talk to my VAs. They work early in the morning. For my coaching business, we have some VAs that work overseas that help us get a lot of things done, a lot of legwork done. I want to talk about the chicken wing shortage. If you're tuning in live right now, drop a comment, hashtag live. If it's on the replay, hashtag replay. A few people are on. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I know it's early. I appreciate the support. Our Facebook reach is out of control lately. The last 2 months, we've almost doubled our reach on Facebook. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, Jamie and I really, really appreciate it. It's great when we go around town or we stop into a store, or it's not our restaurant where we're at, and people are saying, I watch your videos. Jamie had something the other day, lady, she goes, I'm so-and-so, and I watch your videos. I'm coming in for a cocktail. I love what you're doing. So we really, really appreciate all that support. Virtually, and we love it when you come in here, of course. So, but thank you for all that momentum, because our Facebook page is trending upward. And that's one of the key indicators that we coach all of our clients on, our restaurant clients, other restaurant owners that we work with, is keep that, monitor that reach and keep going and going, engagements, and keep going and going. That's key to business, getting attention. So, chicken wing shortage. Why is there a chicken wing shortage? If you haven't noticed, there is a massive chicken wing shortage. I was shorted on chicken wings today. They're not coming. But we have a source. We will have chicken wings. And we have plenty in stock, and we will have plenty in stock. And we have some great sources. But went to order them, and he's like, "Sorry, you didn't order early enough today." Our sales rep, you didn't order early enough. I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." So, chicken wings. Here's the reason why chicken wings are up in price. And some restaurants are putting market price on their wings right now. Some restaurants don't have them at all. Some wing restaurants don't even have chicken wings. It's crazy when I talk to other restaurant owners, pub owners, what's going on. And some places, their theme is wings. Their theme is chicken wings. And some of these places won't experience a shortage just because they have good relationships with their sales reps and their companies, and a company won't let a wing university or some, there's a restaurant that specifically does wings and only does wings, and that's what they do best, that's what the restaurant's themes around. The sales rep, the distributor, is going to protect them, especially if they're good customers, good clients, and make sure they get their supply going. But the other places that have wings as a secondary, items that aren't the big sellers, those are the restaurants are gonna be like, oh my gosh, I can't get wings now. Yeah, because Wing City already took all the wings this week from this distributor. They already took 30 cases of wings. We only go through about 40 pounds, 50 pounds a week of wings. That's all we go through. So we're just talking about a case and a half is all we need. So chicken wings at the beginning of the year wholesale were $1.81 a pound. They were $1.81 a pound. They are now over $4 a pound wholesale. These are run of the mill. These are run of the mill pumped chicken wings from hormone antibiotic factory farmed chicken wings. $1.81 a pound to over $4 a pound wholesale. Now, I've always paid a consistent price. I've always paid for 40 pounds. I've always paid about $112 for 40 pounds. So I've been under $3 a pound. I'm at two. Actually, you know what? I've been at $2.28 a pound for years. $2.28 a pound for years. So I've always paid more than every other restaurant. Every other restaurant's paying $1.81, which that was high beginning of the year. So let's see, 228 times 40 equals. I pay $91 a case. That's what I've been paying for years, while other restaurants are paying far less. And I've never complained about the price at $2.28 a pound. I just never have. We just took a little hit increase on our wings. So while I've been paying far more for a quote-unquote organic, natural, no hormones, antibiotics, smaller production, I've been paying this bigger price for years. All these other restaurants are getting away at a much cheaper price, $30 a case less, and they are charging the same price that we do. But it's just what we're doing our dedication to quality. So now these restaurants are paying $4 a pound. I'm still paying, I think I'm paying $2.50 now. My price didn't go up that much. These restaurants are paying $4 a pound for a really bad product. A product that's pumped, a product that comes from factory farms. It might taste good because it's pumped with a saline solution. They're plumped. It's called plumping. When you take chicken and you soak it in these salt solutions, it gains seasoning, flavor, moisture, retention, and it's not part of the equation of being natural. But a lot of this is just what happens in the industry. It's called plumping, and sometimes the weight on chicken could go up almost by like 18%, 20%. It's crazy how much extra liquid you can get into it before you put it out to market. It's called plumping, Plumping, plumping. And it's very, very, very common, and it helps restaurants not overcook things. That's the one thing, but it's a chemical. It's a salt solution, saline solution. It's pumped in there. There's artificial flavorings in there, but it helps restaurants basically cook chicken breast and let it sit there on the line, hot, for an extended amount of time, because there's a buffering mechanism, buffering agent to say, okay, this chicken can just withstand more heat, longer cooking times, and it's not part of what a natural juicy chicken breast is. So that's what happens with that. So sometimes you go to a restaurant that the chicken breast is a little drier. It's because it's not plumped. It's not plumped like the other brands. So people equate like this restaurant's buying a bad chicken breast. Their quality is not that well. No, it's just a natural chicken breast. It's more what the chicken's supposed to be like, and hopefully the cook in the kitchen can cook it properly and not overcook it and make sure that it's still juicy. We have a way of sous videing our chicken breast to keep it moist. We grill it and sous vide it, and then drop it, reheat it in the sous vide so it does stay moist, so you can lock in as much of the juice as possible. And it seems to work for us. All right. So why are chicken wings in short supply? Well, demand is up this year. Demand is up around 10% for chicken wings. People want comfort foods, especially during the pandemic last year and continuing this year. People want comfort foods. Now that restaurants are opening back up, more and more restaurants are opening back up, they are trying to get in the game of buying food again. Well, what happened last year? The chicken wing production was the same. It got in more into stores. People got used to cooking chicken wings at home, so that's where a lot of the supply was going. If restaurants were open, they were serving them. But a lot of restaurants were not open in full capacity, or a lot of restaurants were just closed. And now that more restaurants brand new restaurants are opening, because there's a lot of great deals, there's a lot of bargains on restaurant space out there right now. So if you want to get into the restaurant game and be a restaurateur, now's the time to walk in and swoop up some really, really good deals on rents. I know because I've been approached by several people, basically just giving away properties just to get people in there. So you have new restaurants opening up. You have people still cooking at home and having the wing supply at home and going through the distribution channels of grocery stores. You have the same production of wings It's exactly the same production as last year. This is the biggest chicken wing shortage, by the way, or increased demand since 2011. It all started leading up into February into the Super Bowl is where it kind of started happening. And that was, the lowest price we had was in January, and it's just edged up all the way. And people are saying it's still not ending. It's gonna continue until the summer, and beef is gonna skyrocket in price or take a big increase. I know we took a price increase on our ribeyes 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We're taking a price increase on our burger meat, so it's unfortunate. We just had to raise some prices for the first time in over a year. We just raised a couple prices, $1 here, $1 there. During the pandemic last year, we actually lowered our prices. So the prices are not new pricing for us; they're just pandemic pricing. We just lowered and made things a better value. Hopefully my microphone's working. I had a hard time yesterday. I was on the phone with Apple Care for 2 hours yesterday, trying to create an aggregate device that would work. See, I have two microphones here. So when Jamie sits with me and we'll do our podcast or we'll do a show, she has a mic, I have a mic, and these are Rode Podcaster mics, which are awesome mics from Rode. And I could get one to work. I just couldn't get two to work with one channel going in on GarageBand, but now I got it working finally. So these are really awesome mics. So hopefully you can hear me properly. The volume's up and everything okay. When it's working, it's better quality. So chicken wing supply is up. Chicken wing production or chicken production is the same. Now here's one of the biggest things that's happening. We're in a labor shortage right now. There is a labor shortage. People are just not working like they used to, not even from 2 years ago. And the restaurant industry has been tough all along to get, especially staff in the kitchen. I saw somebody post yesterday that, hey, my waitstaff makes $1,000 a week working. Why can't I get more people to work? Like, our staff makes good money. Waitstaff in a decent restaurant can make really good money. So I don't know. People just aren't working. So the poultry industry is the same exact thing. They just can't get the stuff processed quick enough. So the production is there, the chickens are there. They're just not getting it into distribution as quick as they want to because of the workforce, the labor force, just isn't helping them cooperate. So that's another issue. So supply's up, workforce is down. And demand is up. Consumers got used to cooking chicken wings at home, and now restaurants want them again. And highest bidder is going to win here. Basically, highest price is going to win. So expect wings to take an increase. I'm glad I'm not like a Buffalo Bills or one of those places that relies upon wings as part of my major menu items. I know last year that Governor Cuomo here said that chicken wings were not considered a substantial food because for a while, you had to, until last month, you had to, in order to sit at in a restaurant, to get alcohol, you had to order food, and you had to order something substantial. Well, Governor Cuomo said that wings are not substantial. He just didn't read the State Liquor Authority's guidelines because it's very detailed in there what substantial is, and even cookies are substantial. So he misspoke about that. So there was a little bit of controversy with chicken wings here in New York. By the way, tomorrow, businesses can start asking if customers, guests, are vaccinated or not, if they want to wear or not wear a mask. Personally, I'm not excited about this at all. You have two sides to this, vaxxers and anti-vaxxers, and you have a lot of people who really have strong opinions. And I feel that by walking into Walmart or any of the stores, you can see right away who is vaccinated and who's not, because obviously now they're wearing a mask or they're not wearing a mask. And of course, certain people that are vaccinated are still going to wear a mask, which is totally fine. But I feel at a certain point, it's a way of segregating people, especially in a store, and I think that might cause some animosity. It might cause some people to single people out, like, why aren't you vaccinated, this and that, it's your fault, this and that. So I'm not excited about having to police that at all. Not very excited, let's be honest with that up front. And of course, everybody has their own choice to make their own choices. So, and that's all good and fine as long as we have 100% transparency in what the government's doing or what they're mandating or this or that. I think it's fine if there's 100% transparency that we all make our own choices, and that is perfectly fine. But we all know that government, especially big corporations, don't really tell us the truth. And this isn't just now; it's the whole history of the world. There's a special interest conflict. They kind of leave certain things out of the equation, especially when it's time to market things or push things. They leave certain things out that we don't never get the full picture. This is about anything, I mean, look at going back to smoking cigarettes in the '60s. I mean, they knew the evidence back then. I mean, we all know the evidence. We all knew the evidence, and they still pushed it. And the World Health Organization was still pushing cigarettes and this and that. While they blatantly knew what was going on with cigarettes. And they just kept defending it. And anybody when they did an investigation with the World Health Organization, the investigator who led these investigations usually came from the tobacco industry. So it was just a conflict of interest to begin with. They're protecting themselves. So I am totally, you can decide, as long, I wish we just had the adequate information to make our own proper decisions. And unfortunately, a lot of times we don't. So Melissa's saying yes, it will cause a lot of controversy. So I just don't want to have segregated people in my restaurant and people avoiding certain people because they're not vaccinated and people looking down upon them because they're not vaccinated. So, and again, everybody's own choice. A friend of mine did a video yesterday in Washington State, and Governor Inslee in Washington is actually rewarding people to get a vaccine with a free alcoholic beverage from your local restaurant or bar. So restaurants and bars can actually entice people in the state of Washington, if you show your Vax card for like the next 30 days, to the restaurant or bar can give them a free alcoholic beverage. And my friend Jim did a live on that yesterday and said, well, I'm not going to partake in that. Don't count any of my restaurants in for giving out something free. First of all, the governor or the state has always, when you use the word free in alcohol in Washington, and same thing in New York, they don't like that word free. So we're not allowed to. I'm not allowed to place an ad and say, come buy a steak and get a free glass of wine. That is a no-no because nothing's supposed to be free, especially alcohol. So, in Washington State, the governor came out and said, you can now buy a guest a free glass of free alcoholic beverage if they show their vaccine card the next 30 days or 60, whatever days it is. So in Washington State, if anybody's from Washington State and you want a drink and you've got vaccinated, participating restaurants will give you a drink. Certain restaurants will. So that's the story with that. Let's see. I think that's about it for now. I'm going to go for a quick run here in a few minutes. I've got some other work to do, and I'm going to be on the road by 9 a.m. I've got to head to New Jersey today. Today's my New Jersey run. Once a month I have to head to Jersey and pick up a few things. So it saves us a lot of money when I go pick up. I save about $800 in shipping costs from one of our suppliers. So it's a couple items that are only sold in the New York area. If I want them, I have to have them FedExed in. So I have to go pick it up to keep doing this. I could pay the FedEx charges, and it would be I'm literally saving on a small order $400, and on a good order I'm saving almost $800. So now that summertime is here, a lot of these orders are packed with more ice and more weight, so I actually save more money. So that's the story with that. Great company. I've been using them for years, and I've turned them on to several friends in New York City who just love their products at some high-end restaurants. I'm like, Marcus, thanks for turning us on to this company, because they're really supplying us with some really fantastic items. It's like one of those companies like a D'Artagnan, just really high-end specialty things that you really can't get from anywhere else. So I have to go pick that up at the warehouse today in New Jersey. So it's my New Jersey run. That's once a month. And I'm not a fan for going to pick up food, by the way. I am not a fan at all. Like, I am like so anti-restaurant depot or restaurant cheapo. Like, other chefs brag how they go to Restaurant Depot, and I'm like, I brag because I don't go there. I brag because if I have to go, like, I'm at a point now, Restaurant Depot is like, and they have a couple of good things. They have a couple of organic things. They have a couple of things that we can use, but there's not many things in Restaurant Depot that we can really use. It's all mass-produced stuff. That's why I call it Restaurant Cheapo. It's all just commodity stuff, big brands, they're private labels, nothing really. But there's a few things like Wholesome Organic Sweeteners has their agave there at a good price. Let's see, what else is there? Charcoal briquettes. If I want a charcoal briquettes for the smoker, then yeah, I go buy 10 bags at a time. Things like that. Fiji water they have there, and it's not even really a great price. If my one distributor, Chef's Warehouse, has the same products, they'll match the price and deliver it to my door. So why would I take 45 minutes to Newburgh and back, and then walk around the store for 45 minutes? Why would I take my time out to save $20, $30? It's not worth it. My time's much more valuable. But a lot of restaurant owners don't understand how valuable their time is, and they will literally head there like 2-3 days a week. And so I can't get the stuff from anywhere else. Well, I can, and I get the stuff at the same price from my distributor if it's comparing apples to apples. And our one distributor, Baldor, actually sells to Restaurant Depot. So the driver's like, yeah, I just dropped off 7 pallets of produce at Restaurant Depot. They just took 2 cases of broccoli crowns, and so it's the same. It's a lot, it's funny, but I'm not a fan of going to pick up food there. I think it's a waste of time. And every coaching client that we have, the first thing we do is we get them off of trying to go rely upon these companies, these warehouses you have to go pick up at, because time is money. When you can sit there and promote your business, that's more valuable than going to save $30-$40 in a warehouse. When you can do more staff team training for 3 hours as opposed to running to a warehouse. If you can do other things at 3 hours, or sometimes it's more for people, it's just it's got to be a real trade-off. So for me, it has to be a $500, $600, $700, $800 trade-off for me to actually go do something like that and be absolutely sure I can't get it from anywhere else. So as restaurant owners are bragging they're going to Restaurant Depot, I'm saying I'm not going to Restaurant Depot, and I'm proud of it, or Sam's Club, or any of those Costco's or BJ's, or any of that. Fortunately, we don't have to do that. We don't play that game, so that's a good thing. So thanks for everybody who's tuning in. I've been on since about a little after 6 o'clock. I got to get to work here and get some stuff done. 6 to 9 is my sweet time in the office to get a lot of things done before the phones start ringing. Courtney, our daughter, works in the office now, so when she gets here at 9, she's got her mission and her plans and tasks all lined up for her to get done. And that is it, folks. Just talking about the chicken wing shortage today. Just to recap the video, if you want to know what I talked about in the whole video, we'll recap it in 30 seconds. Chicken wing shortage, $1.81 a pound beginning of the year, wholesale, for the commodity wings, the stuff that's factory farmed. It's up to over $4 a pound right now to restaurants. Consumers got used to cooking chicken wings at home last year at the pandemic, restaurants being closed. Grocery stores picked up the slack on a lot of the chicken wing supply, and you got used to cooking at home. Well, now chicken wing supply is up. Comfort foods are in. Starting with the Super Bowl was when it first started happening, and now wings went from $1.81 a pound to over $4 a pound. The chicken wing supply is still the same, but the labor force is really what's happening right now. They just can't get enough excuse me, into the market. They're just having a tough time some places with production. Last year, one of the biggest factors of chicken production, we got hit hard back in September, was a hurricane issue going up through Maryland and everything. One of the storms, the big rainstorms, really knocked out some of the producers there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And of course, whether you're buying chickens from New York, Maine, or Virginia, or Iowa, when producers go out in Maryland because of storms, that affects everybody, because they supply so many people. It's like when McDonald's decides to put avocados on their menu. That affects every single one of us, because how many restaurants do they have and how many avocados? That's going to just so alter the supply of avocados on a global scale that we're all going to feel a little bump up on avocados because it's not going to be there. So when a Maryland chicken producer goes down, whether they're commodity or organic or whatever they do, it affects everybody because people are going to go other places for chicken. So that happened last September. And there was like times where I had to, like, our good chicken, we were like pre-ordering it. We had to pre-order like regular chicken breast, and it was like almost like 5 days out. Like we'd order it Monday, and we'd hopefully get it on Friday. And that was for like almost 2-3 weeks last September. So that was storm related. So sometimes you just never know what's affecting supplies. Eggs last year were you couldn't get them because you couldn't get the cartons. The same amount of chickens were still laying eggs. All those chickens were still laying eggs, but they couldn't have the packaging because what happens in restaurants now when the pandemic hit, full force went into making to-go containers. Like things are now to-go containers. That was like, they were like, oh, duh. Like we didn't make enough egg containers, because we put all these resources and other things. So the resources get shifted around. It's the same amount of things, but you don't realize like how one shift affects everything. So the chicken eggs were still being laid, the same amount of chickens, but now you just didn't have anything to put the chicken eggs into the carton packages until things stabilize. Just like toilet paper. Same amount of people using toilet paper, same amount of production of toilet paper, but more people are now buying double the amount of toilet paper. So if this would happen on anything, if we all went to the store today and bought double the amount of bananas that we normally buy, we'd have a banana shortage. If every single person bought double the amount of whatever it is that you normally buy, if you bought 2 loaves of bread instead of 1 loaf of bread, we'd have a bread shortage. It's just that simple until the supply can adjust itself, or until you're sick of buying bread and storing it at home. One of those scenarios. So, all right, folks, I'm out of here. Got to go for my run and head to Jersey and get some work done here. Stay tuned. Jamie will be live later. It's Tuesday. We're closed tonight. If you go on to Google and we're not open at that specific time, it'll tell you we're closed. That's because it's not 5 o'clock. So don't get tricked into thinking if you're going onto Google and doing a Google search for us at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 4:30 or 4:50 p.m., if we open at 5, Google's going to list us as closed at that point. So don't get tricked. Look at the full hours. Guest last night that had gone somewhere else said, oh my gosh, we would have come eaten with you, but you said your hours said closed. So let me just show you if I can show you right now. So right now, Roma Time Bistro, closed. See right there? Closed. All right. If it was Monday this time, it would say closed. But at 5 o'clock p.m., it would all of a sudden magically say open. So make sure you read past the close wherever you're going, whatever restaurants. And folks, if you're going to a restaurant, please call and make a reservation. It doesn't matter if you think they don't take reservations, call them anyway. People that call us or people that don't call us, we'd love to accommodate everybody, but we have limited seats, especially when it's raining out or bad weather. We only have 7 tables inside. I have like 18 tables outside, by the way, or 12 tables outside. So I have a lot more tables outside. But if it's not nice outside, nobody wants to eat outside. So when you pull up to the restaurant, Jamie and I really need to do reenactments of some of the encounters we have with daily phone calls and people trying to eat here. Like the other day, somebody called and goes, oh, I want to make reservations for 6 people or 8 people at 6:30 on Saturday night. And I'll call you back when I know how many people. Well, you just told us how many people. Well, I haven't called anybody yet to invite them for dinner. Well, then why don't you call the people first, then make the reservation? Like it's the opposite order. Another people the other day said, I can't believe you don't have any tables. I drove 45 minutes. Well, if you drive 45 minutes for a restaurant, you would want to call them ahead of time to make sure on a Saturday night that they have room for you. Like that's something that should be like, oh, wow, we're going to drive 45 minutes. Honey, what if they don't have tables for us? What if? Call ahead of time. So whatever restaurant you're going to, call ahead of time. And folks, please, we had a 9 top that didn't show up the other night, which was able us to take a couple other reservations. We had a 9 top. 9 people called, made a reservation, and didn't show up. With limited seating, that hurts restaurants. That hurts restaurants deeply. And if we only have 7 tables inside, that happened during the wintertime too, and people just like, and then they don't answer their phones when you call them like, hi, are you late for your reservation? 20 minutes later, and they don't even answer the phones. It's like they totally ignore you because you have their phone number for making the reservation. And we even had a party that specially booked with us, like 20 people in the garden. They wanted hors d'oeuvres, and we were having a private thing in the garden. And it was on a Thursday night. We brought in extra. This was literally 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And Jamie was texting the lady. They were texting back and forth, making arrangements. Jamie brought in extra staff, and they were having extra pizzas. They decided on what things. This party never showed up. 20 people. They had the garden to themselves, the whole garden to themselves. And Jamie texted him like, did I make a mistake on the day or the time? And the lady never even texted back. Like, Jamie was like, are you coming? Like we're waiting. We have it in the garden. Like, I have extra. Jamie even messaged like, are you coming tonight? Like, I have all this. I have brought in extra staff for you. I have your menu ready for you. This and that. And it's our fault. We didn't get a credit card deposit. Totally our fault. So we'll take the blame for that. But not even the decency to text back. Like say, oh, plans change or things like that. Not even that decency at all. Just, it's like crazy how people are just so disrespectful. Are people really raised like this? A lot of these people are adults. A lot of these people are straight up like adults, like 40 years old, 45 years old, like responsible adults. You have kids, you have a career, you've made your mortgage payment for the last 15 years. You're an adult, you've done adult things. Like, why would you screw a restaurant like that? So just be cautious when you go to restaurants. We all of us restaurants. We had a good year, but my register still has more room for more money in it. Believe me, I got more room in that register for money. And I always make a joke with my staff, like they're like, "Oh, it's 9:59. Can I shut the light off?" No, because we're closed at 10. And if somebody walks in right now, there's room for their money in my register, right? There's room in your wallet for their tips. There's room, there's room for that. So when we're 10 o'clock, then we close at 10 o'clock. Then you can turn the lights out. So that's been our philosophy since day one. So we try to accommodate. But just wherever you're going, just and I understand some restaurants are inconsistent too. So I totally get the other side of the coin. A lot of restaurants just decide, it's 9 o'clock. I'm not busy. I know my hours say 10, but I'm going to close tonight to save a little bit of money. That's the worst thing a restaurant can do, is be inconsistent. How many of you have experienced inconsistent restaurants? They're doing breakfast one week. The next week, like, oh, breakfast didn't work out, so I drove here for breakfast because you advertised breakfast on Facebook last week, and you posted a mimosa, and you posted an omelet, and all of a sudden now I drove 20 minutes or 5 minutes or a half an hour, and you're not open for breakfast? Oh, yeah, it wasn't working out for us, so we closed. You just started it. Or just randomly just close here and there and this and that. Inconsistency is like, it's terrible. And I can't stand when I see other businesses doing it, just the inconsistency. So I'm sure you've all experienced inconsistencies in businesses. I remember an antique shop when I lived in West Virginia. It was in Roanoke, Virginia. We used to go to Roanoke when we worked at the Greenbrier on our day off, day for the month off, it seemed like. And the store said, open by chance or appointment. Like right up front, it's telling you, like, don't expect me here. Open by chance or appointment. Here's the phone number. Call them. Set up an appointment. So that sign always stuck with me. Like, full transparency. Yes, full transparency that we are inconsistent, which is great. Don't rely upon us. But not if you're posting hours on Google and Yelp now and your front door. You need to be open when those hours say there, or have a legitimate excuse to why you're closed. Because one person driving and the restaurant not being there when they thought they'd be there, when they're supposed to be there, that person is not going. Your brain registers things like that, and you're not going to make that trip again or think of them again, because now you're going to go to a place where you trust is going to be open. So that's one of my pet peeves, is inconsistencies in any business. So, all right, folks, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the support. Thank you very much, and have a great day. It's supposed to be nice out. I'm going for my run here in a few minutes, and that's it. Talk to you later.